Your cat has done something to you that most people miss entirely. Not something visible. Not something loud. Something quiet, deliberate, and, according to animal behaviorists, completely permanent. He looked at you. What? And then he decided. Most people think their cat tolerates them. Researchers at the University of Lincoln think otherwise. What they found when they studied the bond between domestic cats and their owners changed how the scientific community understands feline attachment. Cats don't form bonds with everyone who feeds them. They form bonds with specific people. And when they do, the behavioral patterns that follow are not random. They are signals. 7 of them, in particular, have become the clearest evidence science has that your cat has not just accepted you, he has chosen you. This video is about those 7 things. By the end, you will look at your cat differently. And you will realize he has been looking at you that way for a very long time. Let's start with the one that happens in silence. The one that most people see every single day and never understand what it means. Your cat looks at you from across the room. He isn't moving. He isn't asking for anything. He is simply watching. And then, slowly, his eyes close halfway. Then all the way. Then they open again. Slow. Deliberate. That is not tiredness. That is not coincidence. That is the feline slow blink. And according to Dr. Karen McComb at the University of Sussex, it is one of the most significant nonverbal signals a cat can send to a human. The slow blink is what cats do with each other when they feel completely safe. When they are not threatened. When they are not preparing to fight or flee. It is, in the language of feline communication, the equivalent of saying, "I trust you. I'm not on guard with you. You are the kind of presence that makes me feel safe enough to close my eyes." When your cat slow blinks at you, he is not being lazy. He is telling you something he can only say without words. McComb's team ran controlled experiments where humans directed slow blinks at unfamiliar cats. The cats were significantly more likely to approach those humans afterward. The blink created a bridge. A signal of non-threat that the cats recognized and responded to. Your cat has been doing this to you for months. Maybe years. Every slow blink you missed was a sentence he completed. Every one you saw and didn't understand was a letter he sent that never got read. He chose you before you even knew there was a choice being made. The second thing is about territory. And to understand it, you need to understand how cats see space. A cat does not live in your home the way you do. You experience your home as a place you own. He experiences it as a space he has mapped, assessed, and organized according to a hierarchy only he fully understands. Every room has a value. Every piece of furniture has a position in his mental model. Every human in the house has a place in his social calculation. This mapping takes weeks when a cat arrives in a new home. It is not passive. It is active, deliberate cognitive work, documented in studies of feline spatial cognition published in the Journal of Comparative Psychology. Once the map is complete, the cat knows where everyone belongs, including you. And here is the sign you may have missed. He rubs his face on you. Not because he is being affectionate in the way a dog is affectionate. He is marking you. He has scent glands along his cheeks, his forehead, the corners of his mouth. And when he presses them against you, he is depositing a chemical signal that other cats can detect. That signal says, "This person belongs to my territory. This person is part of my world. I have claimed them." Cats only mark things they value. They mark corners they use. They mark furniture they sleep on. They mark the humans they have decided are theirs. When your cat rubs his face against your hand, your leg, your cheek, he is not asking for something. He is completing a territorial declaration that he started the first time he decided you were worth keeping. The third sign happens while you sleep. Most people don't know this because they are unconscious when it occurs. But if you've ever installed a camera in your bedroom or woken up at 3 a.m. to find your cat sitting on your chest, watching your face in the dark, you have seen what researchers at the University of Tokyo spent years documenting. Cats monitor their chosen humans during sleep. This is not random vigilance. Cats sleep up to 16 hours a day. They are not awake at 3 a.m. by accident. When a cat chooses to be awake, watching you sleep, he is performing what behavioral scientists describe as a form of social vigilance. The same behavior documented in cats who live in multi-cat colonies, where certain individuals take on protective monitoring roles for the group. Your cat is not watching you sleep because he is hungry. If he were hungry, he would wake you. He is watching you sleep because, in his internal hierarchy, you are someone he monitors, someone he checks on, someone whose stillness he tracks. The Tokyo research team noted that cats show measurably different behavior around sleeping humans they are bonded with versus unfamiliar humans. Bonded cats sit closer, remain still longer, and are slower to leave the room. He is not just sharing your bed. He is keeping watch over you the way he would over something precious in his territory. He decided you were worth protecting. While you were unconscious, that decision became a habit. That habit became a nightly ritual. That ritual, according to the researchers, is one of the most reliable indicators of deep feline attachment. The fourth sign is the one that will make you rethink every morning of the last few years. He greets you at the door with his tail straight up. Not because he has been trained to. Cats cannot be trained to do this. This is not a learned behavior. It is a biological signal. One that cats use exclusively with individuals they are socially bonded with. Researchers studying feral cat colonies observed that cats approach familiar, trusted members of their group with the tail raised vertically. The position is unambiguous in feline social language. It signals affiliative intent. It is the cat's way of saying, before any physical contact occurs, I am approaching you as a friend. I'm not a threat. I want connection. Cats raise their tails this way for other cats they trust. And they raise it for the humans they have decided belong in that same category. Your cat does not tail up for strangers who come to your house. He may flatten against the wall. He may disappear entirely. But for you he comes running. Tail straight up. Sometimes making a sound halfway between a trill and a meow, a vocalization that researchers have identified as exclusive to cat-human communication. Cats do not make this sound with other cats. They developed it specifically for humans. Specifically for you. The tail-up greeting is a social decision dressed up as a reflex. Your cat is telling you, every single time you walk through that door, that you are in his inner circle. That you are the person he shows that signal to. That you are, in the precise language of animal behavior, his person. The fifth sign is the one that looks like he's simply comfortable. But it's more than that. He shows you his belly. The belly is the most vulnerable part of a cat. It has no armor. It contains the vital organs. When a cat rolls onto its back and exposes the underside of its body, it is performing one of the highest risk postures in its behavioral repertoire. From an evolutionary standpoint, it is the posture of an animal that has temporarily suspended its defensive vigilance. Cats do not do this with animals or people they do not trust. They simply don't. It is not a behavior that can be coaxed by familiarity alone. It requires something deeper, a decision made at some level beneath conscious thought, that the person present is safe, that the environment is safe, that nothing bad will happen if the defensive posture drops. Researchers studying domestic cat behavior at the Royal Veterinary College in London observed that belly displays increased significantly with bond strength, not with time alone, but with the quality of the social relationship. Cats who showed belly displays to their owners consistently scored higher on every other measure of feline attachment. The belly display is not an invitation to touch, something many cat owners learn the hard way. It is a statement. It is your cat telling you through the oldest vocabulary his species has, I feel safe enough here with you to be completely vulnerable. I trust you with my most defenseless moment. He does not show that to the delivery driver. He does not show it to the neighbor. He shows it to you. That is not comfort. That is loyalty. The sixth sign is the one researchers almost overlooked because it looks so ordinary. He sleeps touching you. Not necessarily on you. Not necessarily in the dramatic pose of a cat draped across a chest. Just touching. A paw on your foot. A flank against your leg. A chin resting against the edge of your hand. Contact so slight you might not notice it unless you were looking for it. This is called proximity sleeping, and it is documented in wild cat populations, in feral colonies, and in domestic settings. In every environment where cats have been studied, they sleep in physical contact only with the members of their social group they feel genuinely safe with. Cats are not pack animals. They are not obligated to sleep near anyone. The baseline behavior of a cat with no social bond is to find an isolated, enclosed, elevated space and sleep alone. That is the default. That is what cats do when they have no reason to do otherwise. When your cat chooses to sleep against you, he is departing from his default. He is selecting proximity over the safety of isolation. He is deciding, every single night, that your warmth and your presence and your breathing in the dark are worth giving up the solitude that his species evolved to prefer. He makes that choice. Again and again. He has been making it since the first night he curled against your leg and you were too asleep to notice. The choice is the signal. The repetition of the choice is the bond. The seventh sign is the one that will stay with you the longest. He needs you. You may know this as making biscuits. The slow, rhythmic pressing of alternating paws into a soft surface. Your lap, your stomach, the blanket on top of you. The motion that often comes with a low, steady purr and half-closed eyes. Kneading begins in the first hours of a kitten's life. Newborn kittens press their paws against their mother's body to stimulate milk production. The motion is inseparable, neurologically, from warmth and safety and being fed and being held and being close to the one creature in the world who is keeping them alive. As cats grow older, the nursing instinct fades. But the motion remains, and researchers at the University of Bristol studying feline behavioral development found that adult cats who knead are not doing something purposeless. They are activating a deeply embedded neurological pattern associated with the earliest experience of complete safety. Your cat does not need your leg because your leg is a good surface. He needs it because something in the architecture of his nervous system recognizes you as the kind of presence that activates the oldest, deepest signal for safety he has. The one from before he could see. Before he could walk. Before he knew anything about the world except the warmth of the creature he was pressed against. He is not telling you he is hungry. He is not telling you he wants something. He is telling you, with the oldest language his body knows, that you are the person who makes him feel like everything is going to be fine. He chose you before he had words for it. He has been saying it, every time he needs, ever since. 7 signals. 7 behaviors that the science of animal cognition has studied, documented, and confirmed are not random. The slow blink that says, I feel safe with you. The facial rub that says, you are part of my world. The nighttime watch that says, I protect what I value. The tail-up greeting that says, you are in my circle. The belly display that says, I trust you with my most vulnerable moment. The proximity sleep that says, I choose to be near you. And the kneading that carries everything all the way back to the beginning. Your cat did not stumble into your life and stay out of habit. He assessed you. He mapped you. He made a calculation that his species has been making for 10,000 years, since the first wildcats moved toward human settlements, not because they were forced to, but because something in the arrangement worked for them. Your cat made that calculation about you specifically. Not about everyone in your house. Not about anyone who fills the bowl. About you. The researchers have a phrase for it, selective social bonding. It describes the capacity of domestic cats to form asymmetric attachments, close with specific individuals, indifferent with others regardless of who provides food or shelter. Your cat is selectively bonded with you. That is not nothing. That is a wild animal descendant, an ambush predator with a brain designed for independence, deciding that one specific human is worth all of it. Worth the vulnerability. Worth the proximity. Worth the slow blink across a quiet room on an ordinary Tuesday. He made that decision. You did not make it for him. Science cannot explain exactly when it happened. There was probably a moment, early on, when you did something small that you don't even remember, when something shifted in him. When the calculation tipped. You will never know exactly what it was. But it happened. And everything that followed, every slow blink, every tail raised in greeting, every night he chose to sleep against you instead of alone, has been him telling you the same thing over and over in a language older than words. He chose you. He has been choosing you every day since then. And he is probably in the room with you right now. Look up. Has your cat ever done any of these 7 things in a way that stopped you, that made you suddenly see something you hadn't seen before? Tell me exactly what happened and which one it was. I read every single one.